This is Newcap News with Nerman Isaac.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. 2 men have been arrested after an attempted robbery in North Battleford early this morning. Police say it happened at around 1 a.m. on St. Laurent Drive. The victim was confronted by 2 men near his home. One suspect pulled out a knife and demanded cash before the 2 suspects fled empty-handed. Now, no one was injured. RCMP found the suspects an hour later. Both the male adult and youth are in custody and will appear in North Battleford Provincial Court tomorrow morning. Well, 2 people are in hospital after quad collisions over the long weekend in the Lac-La-Biche area. Lac-La-Biche RCMP rushed to a 41-year-old man suffering injuries to his pelvic area after he struck a tree stump and was ejected off the quad. He was driving near Old Conklin Road, about 70 kilometers north of Lac-La-Biche. He was transported to Edmonton Hospital. Now, he was not wearing a helmet at the time, and police say alcohol was a factor. Now, the second collision happened at about 50 kilometers east of Lac-La-Biche. A 54-year-old man was driving a quad when he hit a tree root and was thrown off the ATV. He too was also airlifted to Edmonton Hospital and was not wearing a helmet. Police say, though, alcohol and speed are not considered factors. Police are reminding the public to always wear helmets and appropriate equipment when operating ATVs. Well, some big political news today. Former Alberta Premier Alison Redford is leaving provincial politics. In an opinion piece sent to Post-Media newspapers, Redford announced her resignation as MLA for Calgary-Elbow. Redford resigned as Premier in March amid a controversy over travel expenses. Now, in the article, Redford admits mistakes were made and that in hindsight, she would have done things differently. Meanwhile, we are getting local reaction to news of Redford's resignation. Vermilion Lloydminster MLA and current Minister of Tourism, Parks and Recreation, Richard Starkey, says he wasn't shocked by the announcement.
She very clearly wants to move on to the next phase of her life, and she has, she has work that she wants to, move on with, and given that, I can understand her desire to do so.
Starkey became a provincial cabinet minister during Redford's time as leader and says that they shared a good working relationship.
There were times that we certainly disagreed. But she, I think, respected my opinion on things, and she, called for my opinion on a number of different areas. And I think that she respected my work both as an MLA as well as a cabinet minister.
Redford is also facing a travel expenses scandal. The results of the Auditor General report is due out tomorrow. Well, the trip they never expected. A group of 20 teenagers from the area have been stuck in Yellowknife for the past few days due to the fires up north. Now, their 4-H road trip took them to Yellowknife last week. They planned to leave over the weekend but couldn't because of road closures.
We ended up not being able to get out. We did sit on the highway for a little while trying and waiting, but kind of lost hope, and they basically told us that we didn't have a chance to get out anytime soon.
Shaylin Edelstone says it was so busy over the long weekend they couldn't find a camping spot, so they stayed in a parking lot. A manager of the visitor center heard about their situation and offered them a place indoors.
So we got to stay in the boardrooms of the visitor center for the last few days there, so we could get out of the smoke and just poor weather up there.
But she says this unexpected turn of events hasn't put a damper on their trip.
It's for sure has been an adventure. I mean, no one could have planned for this. We made the best of it. I mean, we always stayed busy.
The group is will be heading to Peace River tonight. We'll be back in Lloydminster tomorrow. Well, this next story is going to tempt your taste buds, especially if you're a meat eater. Bushman's Smokehouse serves everything from ribs to pulled pork, and after a few short months, everyone in Bonnyville is talking about it. Fraser Snowden caught up with the owners of the food truck and has more.
Pulled pork fries. Hi guys. And a side of beans.
Running a food truck is no easy task.
Well, the reality of a food truck is it's not a 9-to-5 job. We're up at 5 in the morning and sometimes don't shut down till 8, 9 o'clock at night.
Owner Chris Reed, who has worked in the food services industry throughout his life, has found a passion for making you smoked and barbecued meat. And it seems he knows the secret to slowly cooking your favorite meats.
You want the meat to cook slow, have all those muscle fibers slowly break down and all those juices running through the meat. So when you pull it out after 12, 14 hours, it's like cutting through butter. Our concept for the food truck is healthy portions.
The business has only been running for a few months, but word is getting around, even as far as Calgary.
Having something like this in Bonnyville is really kind of special, and it's really, really good.
I had the baby back ribs. I had a half order, and the thing is I had to come back for another half order. So if you're coming down, you may as well just order the full order.
The owner of Bushman Smokehouse says he puts out at least 200 pounds of pulled pork and 60 racks of ribs every day, and that number keeps climbing.
Fries are up.
And cooking that amount of food in the recent heat we've been getting can get pretty hot.
People are standing outside in the window and say, oh my gosh, it's so hot out here. But when we got the smoker running, the deep fryers, the grill top, it's probably getting somewhere up of 40, 45 degrees in there during a lunch service.
The food truck is open weekdays from 11 to 3 p.m. In Bonnyville, Fraser Snowden, Newcap News.